Hello, it's Randy Duck and welcome back to another video. This time I've got 3 replays for you in the tier 10 French medium tank, which is now a medium tank, formerly a heavy tank, the AMX 50B. And this is a tank which I bought relatively recently. I think, like, talking in the last like 3 or 4 months. Basically, and I've only just got around to start playing it because essentially the chisel contract's out, so I've been playing this one just because I know I've picked up quite a few kills in it, and I must admit I really enjoy the tank. It's really enjoyable to play because it suits me to a T, because it's got that speed, mobility, and that nice sort of clip potential. It's a 4-shot autoloader, 1600 clip potential. 400 alpha per shot, but it just allows you to like move about, double your clip, and then relocate to a different location. I really do enjoy the tank. You see this light tank tier L100 light comes full send, no worries, no cares. And typical Russian light tanks, I hit him swear on, and unfortunately I only did trap damage, don't penetrate him, but I do pen him with at least one of the shots, and then we do manage to get 2 into his TVP. So not bad starts to the game. One thing to note with this tank, it's got the machine chassis, so it's also very heavy, and it's one of the best rams in the game. It really can. You can get some memes with the rams in this tank. Now, this light tank hasn't learnt its lesson. It's come back round again. Unfortunately, that sort of friendly medium just gets in the way of my shot and stopping me getting the shot into him. But he then does get taken out by this friendly ISM, and that's a tier 10 light tank taken out, which is brilliant for Westfield, because Westfield is a great map, but also when you've got them light tanks rushing around, it can be a real nuisance really. So getting them taken out early makes all the difference. You can see in this replay we are platooned with Petty 360, who for some reasons in the Andre the Giant, but he's defending that side all by himself, thankfully. Yeah, I mean that tank is not a fun tank to play. That Andre the Giant, it definitely needs some love soon. But yeah, so you can see on this map, how much our team's on this side of the map, and you can see sort of over on the right hand side in the hill area, I've got so much cover, so much support. So I really want to push this out, win this side quickly, so that I can get on the other side of this ridge. Because if I do, I know I'm going to have a lot of, pretty much got the whole team there, so I should be able to pick up some nice bit of assistance damage, and that especially now our light tanks died, because now I'm not going to be sharing the assistance with anyone. So I'm going to come up here, and basically, my intention is just to light stuff up, and in theory, anything coming up should just get deleted. This Vanguard then full sends in, and then again, typical light tanks, no armour. The first shot, so that's now twice in this game, I've hit them, just did track damage and no damage, which is always really frustrating, especially when it's one of them, dirty Vanguards. But we do manage to take him out anyway, getting rid of another little pest. But now, here's what I'm talking about. We've seen this Maltion. Now, in theory, this guy should be deleted now, because you've got a whole team just sat there, all got like easier shots at them. You can see I'm picking up some nice bit of assistance. Unfortunately, my team has seemed to have bounced quite a lot of shots off of him, but then I do get another little shot in. Now, I do want to take this guy out, but I do have to be slightly concerned that I know there is a machine to my right hand side, but I'm still pretty healthy at this moment. I can afford to take a few shots if I have to, so I've decided that I wanted to push and just risk taking the shots. I do take 2 off of the machine, but we managed to take out the Maltion and get 1 into the machine for good measure. Now, annoyingly, I want to reload now because there's this leopard sat in the open, who I'd love to be dumping the clip in, because we've had an alright game, haven't we? We've got 4,000 damage, 2,000 assistance, so we've got 6k combined already. But yeah, there's obviously still a lot more to be had. Now, we go for a shot on this leopard. Just aiming a shot. Unfortunately, he just got to behind cover, so it's a bit of a poor shot. We go for another shot, and again, another tank which literally has no armour. But yeah, we failed to penetrate him for some reason, and just due to track damage. I think the premium rounds have 325 penetration rounds, which is pretty filthy, to be honest. But yeah, still not enough to penetrate a leopard. But yeah, there we go. So we get a shot into him. This game's, it's pretty much wrapped up now. But that's because how we managed to win that side like quickly. Sometimes what can happen is you sort of get stuck in that side, but no one pushes across, and you're almost getting like a bit of a deadlock where your whole team's just wasted because they're sitting on the hill over there. What you don't want to happen is, while you're sat there, if the enemy team pushes over to where Petty's location was, like sort of like the B4, and they won that area, they know that actually have 3 shots across into that side. But fortunately for us, Petty was holding that down. That didn't happen. We was able to push over, light up the campers on their sort of side, and pick up that sort of juicy assistance. So we've got just shy of 3k assistance. Yeah, we don't manage to take out the artillery, but we do pick up 4 kills. And yeah, it's a pretty decent game for the first one. As you can see, we've got 6,000 damage, 4 kills, 3,000 assistance, high caliber, ace tanker. And yeah, on this, basically I was playing this tank because I needed like 280 kills, I think, for the chisel. And I tend to pick up quite a few kills in this tank, just the nature of having that clip potential, sort of 1600. You often pick up kills and get finishing shots in. But that's enough for the first replay, so I hope you enjoyed it. Stay with us, we've got 2 more replays to come. Okay, so here we are for the second replay, and this time we're on Redshire, which is a gorgeous map, and there's no fun piggies in the game. So that's, as soon as it's loaded up, I was thinking we could be on for a good game here. It's exactly what we really wanted. But yeah, so to start this game, we're going to go up to sort of the left-hand side ridge. That's a sort of, where I'm hoping I might be able to get some cross shots in. Unfortunately there, I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, and I too sort of turned that guy, which was my fault, so I apologised. Yeah, so if you're watching, yeah, sorry about that. That was my fault there. But anyway, we're taking the main ridge. We've got you can see the speed of this tank. We're getting there pretty early, so I'm going to gamble. Now this is a little bit risky how I poke this, but I'm going to go for an early one shot. I get that in. I'm not going to sit there and dump a clip because, like I say, the only reason I overpoked that early but on is because we got there back quickly. If I'd have stayed there any longer, I probably would have ate a few shots in return, and that wouldn't have been worth it. But as it stands, it worked out right. We've got 1 shot pen in nice and early. Still got 3 left in the clip, and we're hoping to get this into this grill. We track him in place, which is nice. He's not reversing back, and we just finish off a full clip. And you can see how, when this tank works, how quickly you can get damage racked up. Straight away into the game. Less than a minute in, just picked up 1,640 damage from 1 clip. And then the beauty of it is, I'm not going to just sit there reloading. I'm just going to move to a different location now. I spotted this E4. I was thinking, maybe I'll be able to get a few side shots into him, but then I spot this E6 on the other side. We go for 1. It was tempting to put another shot in, but we get hit by something else, and I don't want to then get double tapped to lose all that hit points. So I just think, you know what, fine, we'll deal with that later. Let's not lose up on the trade the health earlier in the game, because I want to try and keep those hit points if I can. So it's easier to use later on, just dump your clip. We then spot this 140U. We'll get another shot in, not even fully aimed, which is really nice. We're going to try and get one into the drive ball, which we do. Putting this up to 3,200 damage, just with 2 clips of damage. So off to the perfect start. And I think this game, if anything, just highlights the amount of damage you can pick up in a short pace of time with this tank. And it's just it's all round mobility, and I like. A lot of people found this gun used to be a little bit trolly. That's why not everyone got on with it. But I think 6.0 it's a lot more trusty, and I love this tank. Honestly, it's a great tank. Obviously been in the game for a long time, but I'm a bit slow to the party because I didn't, for some reason, I never bothered going up this line to get this tank. But now I've got it, I'm really glad I do. because yeah, it's quickly becoming one of my more favourable tier 10s to play. I just like the ability just to move about different locations. You see, I'm waiting here for my reload because I know exactly what I want to do. I want to get up on this ridge, dump a clip into this E4, and if I penned all shots, I would have killed this guy. Unfortunately, I got, you know, that was a bit unlucky. Side on for some reason, that shot just got absorbed. So we penned the other 3, leaving them on a 1 shot. But it would have been nice just to finish him off with 1 go, because now we're going to have to reverse back, so we don't eat a shot of this guy. What I intended to do was just get up on this ridge. But I'm still going to do that, but I'm going to take a longer route because he is a 1 shot, and my plan is the time he comes around, and hopefully I would have reloaded, and I'll be able to get a shot into him if one of my team doesn't finish him off. But I think as we moved up, this Polish medium, he's come full sending in. He's not realised I was there, so I'm trying, you know, he's in for a lot of pain now. At this point, I'm just going to eat a shot off of him if it means getting all my shells in, which I do. And that now just puts us up to just shy of 7,000 damage. And there's still like 6 tanks in the game, so I'm really just hoping if I can get another full clip in. I don't want to eat a shot off this E4, so I'm being a bit careful, but he then gets taken out by a friendly team. And now it's just about trying to get my clip in. I've got 3 seconds left, or 4 seconds left. We see a couple of targets over there we can get shots in. We get one into the concert beat, finishing them off, looking somewhere to dump my clip, go for the track wall and the KV4. Probably should have just aimed for slower pace, so would have got another shot of damage in. But we do manage to dunk our clip, finishing off, putting us up to 7,600 raw damage and 1,200 assistance. Now there's 3 tanks left. I'm on a reload, but I've seen this SU. I'm really hoping he doesn't get shot because I'll be able to ram him for a lot of damage. Unfortunately, he does get shot, but at least we managed to finish off the kill and pick up 47 damage. Because honestly, if that tank was full health, I would have absolutely wrecked him with their weight and their momentum going down that hill with that ram, which is a shame because it would have put us over the 8k mark. But you know, nevertheless, unfortunately, we don't manage to pick up this last kill. But we still had a pretty decent game. It just shows you how quickly you can rack up the damage in this thing, because this isn't a very long game. I think it's like 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, 5-minute game. And we picked up 4 kills, just shy of 8,000 damage and 1,500 assistance. High caliber. Unfortunately, it was only a first class, but I still thought it was a worthy game to show. It was a lot of damage, just shy of sort of 9,500 combined. And yeah, I just think it shows you how much damage this thing can rack up in a short space of time. I'm probably going to get a lot more big replays in this tank eventually, because I do like playing it. But yeah, we've got one final replay for you. So I'll stop rambling and I'll see you in a bit for the final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are again for the final replay of the video. And we're on Kasserine. And again, there's no fun police in the game. So yeah, we're always thankful when that happens, aren't we? Unfortunately, there's no fun police, but there is 4 pesty lights on the enemy team and the friendly team. And that's just because at the moment there's that light tank op going on, and I really do hate it when they bring out light tank ops, because the game, the lobbies just fill up with light tanks. It's just a real pain of them just. Yeah, I mean, we all know what it's like, don't we? We've just got light tanks driving like madmen, getting themselves killed, doing all sorts of things, which get a bit frustrating. But that is what it is. You know, it won't be in there for long. I'm looking forward to when that op finally ends. But we're on Kasserine. We're going to push down the left-hand side of the map, and we're going to see if we can catch anyone out, get any early damage, and try and win their ridge, because that's what. Yeah, that's what the end game is to win the ridge in front of me. But on the way up, I spot this poor leopard who gets caught out in the open. And unfortunately for him, he is stuck there. I've trapped him in place, and yeah, he's going nowhere. And he doesn't have a very fun time, does he? Felt a little bit sad for him, but picking up a first kill and getting herself 1,300 damage and 400 assistance. So not a bad start to the game. There's still other stuff which is sort of caught trapped in the open, which we've now got in the crossfire. So I'm actually going to stay for this reload and see if I can dump a clip into this 2.6 2A. Again, he's getting caught in there. We'll go for a shot in there, hoping maybe to damage his engine. But we do trap him in place with that other shot, and that allows us to finish him off. putting us up to 2,500 damage early doors, 600 assistance, and getting ourselves 2 kills. Go for a quick shot into the AMX 50B. Unfortunately, I bounce, need pens. Really, I sort of, you don't want to hit straight centre onto these turrets. There is a little spot where you will bounce off of these tanks, but shooting from that distance, I just shot it. You know, you don't know where it's going to go, so I just aimed it. I just shot in, and unfortunately we don't get that one in. But we're still having a very decent game, and now I've seen the opportunity to win the ridge, which is what I wanted to do, because when you win this ridge, you're quite often able to kill their sort of tanks that are like the B3 area, which are camping. You can get some nice side shots into them and putting them under some like early pressure, and that's the plan. But we have spotted this enemy light tank, the Manticore, and he's kind of going to be a little bit of a pain for me there. It's going to sort of slow me down killing their TDs, so I'm going to take a little bit of an early gamble and just see if we can catch this guy by surprise, kind of risking that the TDs aren't looking at me, which they aren't, but I can't stay out here long because they're probably going to be turning to get shots into me, so I need to back out. But I'll get caught on that rock, which could have ended badly, but fortunately for me it doesn't, and we managed to finish off the light tank and not take any damage in return, which is nice. Now he's taken care of, yeah, we can move up and try and get some shots into these TDs, or maybe the stuff at sort of C5. Just use this ridge just to basically get shots in. That's why I wanted that light tank dead, because I don't want them to keep spotting me up while I'm going to try and get shots in. We've seen an opportunity to get one into this T30, we do. We then was going to get one into the AMX 50, but we thought no, we can maybe finish off this T30, but he turns his turret, and I bounced that shot, so I'm just waiting for his turret to turn around the other way, which he has, and now we managed to finish him off. Well, sorry, now we managed to get our finish off, clip off into 230, leaving them on to a one shot. Now, the only thing which is kind of concerning me at this point is there's still sort of the light tanks alive on the enemy team, and I'm a little bit concerned that they might start to cap in a minute. So I've got that in my mind at this moment. I'm thinking I'm going to finish off this tortoise, pick us up another little bit of kill, another bit of damage, maybe try and dump our clip into this heavy, but I'm getting ready to get back to that base. You know, once this clip's reloaded, that's, you know, where I'm going to start to head, because although this game has been pretty, you know, we've been pretty dominant, haven't we, on this game, I don't want to still get just capped out because we're all just searching for this damage, and then lose the game, which was not going to say guaranteed win, but looking very almost certain we would get a win. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm heading back to this base, and frankly it's the right decision, because the enemy team have now put 2 in the cap and we've only got 1 minute to get back. Fortunately for me, this is where the speed of the AMX 50B comes in handy, and I'm thinking I should just be able to get there in this tank, but I'm thinking if I would have left any later, we might have actually not made it back to get the reset, because the only thing with this base almost is a little bit deceiving. You think you're going to make it there, but there's so many buildings sort of protecting the cap that you have to get really close to spot them, because they could just be hiding around the house, and you might not actually spot them until you get really close, especially if they completely conceal themselves behind the house. That's why I think if I'd left any later, I actually think we probably would have lost this game. Fortunately for me, the TR100 sort of panicked and reversed outside of that building, so we was able to get the reset in. Now we're not concerned about losing the game, we just want to see if we can get a shot into this light tank. Unfortunately I pounced him, which is a bit of a shame, but we do manage to finish him off, picking ourselves up sort of 6,000 damage and confirming the win. At this stage it's just, yeah, we're all rushing for that last bit of damage, aren't we? Realistically, I'm not going to get there, but you've got to keep going, because you never know. A few of the friendly teams bounce off of him, you might get there just to steal the kill at the end. But yeah, spoiler alert, that doesn't turn out for us. I think he actually gets finished off in a minute, and that brings us an end to this game. But yeah, we do pick up 6 kills, 6,000 damage, and again it's quite a quick game, but it just shows you that you can pick up damage pretty quickly in this tank, and again you can pick up quite a lot of kills, which is why I was playing this tank. But you know, it just shows you, even though that game looked like it was almost a sure win, had we not turned, you know, had the map awareness to turn back to the base for the reset, we would have lost that game. So it's always important to, you know, just always sort of keep thinking, basically. Look at the map, look what intelligence you can see, like, oh, I can see these tanks, but I can't see the light tanks on the map yet, and just think, you know, what might they be doing, where they might they be, and in this case it turned out they was going for the cap. But yeah, that brings us to an end to this video, so I really hope you enjoyed it, and as always, happy tanking.